So I want to maybe talk to you about a little bit about my current situation,
Yeah,
so that then we can, and then like my goal,
yeah.
so then we can work towards that.
Perfect, perfect. Okay, so
Okay.
let's start.
So basically, I'm one of those like theory dudes that have known game for like over 7 years, something like that, and I've been like not taking action or taking like little action, uh, but not really seriously
Yeah.
until maybe like 2 years ago. Also, I've had like girlfriend for 3 4 years, and I feel I'm 25 years old now, and I feel like I've lost so much years, so many years, so much time, and I'm like really, you know, and it's like really that really bothers me, and that's why this year, like a couple of months ago, I said like I have to take this seriously from now on, like everything in my life seriously, because if not, I'm going to be 30, 35, and I will end up wherever the tide takes me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's like my worst fear right now. So right now, like economically, I'm all right. I'm not making much money, but I live alone. I have like a flat that my parents own and everything. So I technically,
You can bring girls there and
yeah,
stuff.
exactly. Like, but I do not. So that's the problem. So I
Okay.
have like the logistics, but it's not working out for me. Currently, I'm not having any sex for like a couple of months because last year I broke up with my girlfriend because it was like I've had a problem always. I've been like too. I never took my own decisions, if you know what I mean. Like one girl, she liked me, okay, let's fuck. Or my girlfriend, for example, she insisted so much, like
Have
on like,
relationship
yeah,
and stuff.
exactly. And finally, I said okay. And these are like decisions always like never wanted to make, but I don't know why I didn't have the balls, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've ended up like getting frustrated and frustrated and frustrated. Then I was with another girl for like 8 months, and I said, like, this is not going to anywhere. I really like didn't. I was with her because she was very good with me, all that, but you know what I mean. Like it went into a point that I really didn't even feel attracted to her anymore. So I
And this
decided
was the
to,
most recent one?
yeah, the most recent one.
Okay.
So I decided to end it, and that's it. And well, basically that I what I told you about, that I'm feeling. I know I'm not old, but I feel like I lost so much time. Like if I had taken seriously game when I found out about game, I would have. I don't know. It's like it really bothers me, man. But like you can't change it. So the next best thing I think I can do is like right now take action. Then I have like a lot of approach anxiety. Uh, I've had it a long time. I'm doing a little bit of day game now. I actually find day game easier than night game because, well, I'm not sure exactly why, but um, I find maybe because you can talk with the girls easier. You can. It's like a more relaxed environment, and also I have like a condition that's hyperhidrosis. That's basically that my hands sweat
My
a lot.
ex-girlfriend had this.
Yes,
Yeah,
my
I know.
hands sweat a lot. So
And whatever you do, don't do the surgery.
no, I'm not going to do the
The
surgery.
whatever you do, don't
I
do
know.
it, because I had an ex-girlfriend that wanted to do the surgery. She had very, very bad hydrosis, not just the hands, but like everywhere.
Yes.
And then I researched it, and most people got fucked up after. So don't do it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, never mind. Continue.
So I think that's one of the things that maybe in nightclubs, you often like get to dance a little bit with the girl, grab her by the hand, spin her around. Like, yeah, basically yesterday I did that, and really get really anxious because my hands are sweaty. It's like one of the worst situations for me. You know what I mean? And day game, in the other hand, you really don't have to touch her hand. Maybe you touch her arm a little bit, the clothes or something. So it's like more easy for me. I really haven't done much day game either. I did last year like maybe 12 approaches in a month that I was like starting to get into game. Then I stopped. I was with this girl and everything, and now I've started like this month. Well, like this month, no, like this week even, and I did like two or three approaches. One was like a good approach, let's say. Like I walked with the girl for like 15 minutes, all that. However, and I took her number and all, but it's like I really didn't feel. You know, sometimes you go out to a girl from behind or something, or she was wearing glasses, and then you find out she's not really that attracted. So basically, that happened. So I got her number, but I don't know if this is good or not, but I really didn't text her anything because I wasn't interested.
Yeah.
And also, I watched your video on I don't remember the title, but it was about day game and not like choosing the 50 woman and the woman you're only texting the woman you enjoyed like the most, the experience with the most.
Yeah. It's
So
like,
that's
yeah, yeah. We can talk about, yeah, continue. Finish all the say.
um okay. Right now, I used to last year I used to go out with some friends to do day game and all that, a night game, but most of them either quit or they weren't like really genuine.
Or
For
they
example,
got
one,
girlfriends or something like that.
yeah, or there were, for example, one of the reasons I really like enjoy your content is because you seem like really genuine and like a good dude, like basically. And some of the people I hanged around with were like these gamey dudes that would sell you out for anything. Like you were talking to a girl and they would try to cock block. I don't know. It was
Or
like
take the
weird
girl
stuff.
from you or something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
It was. They were like really scarcity mindset, just like just approaching, not really trying to better themselves or anything. It was like going to hunt or something. I don't know. It was I didn't like it. So then I from that group I got like two dudes that were two wingmen that were cool, and I went out with them and all that, and we did a little bit. But now one of them told me like a month ago. I've been texting him like 7 times, dude, come out 7 weeks in a row, and he told me like until summer he won't go out. And the other one, he will go out.
Because he has a girlfriend or because he wants
I
to
don't
make
know. I don't
money or
know. I have no idea.
okay.
He didn't tell me. And the other one does go out, but I have gone out with him, but he's like in a similar level as me. And also, he recently he has been doing like other stuff. He's like a little bit distracted, doing like, yeah, he's going to salsa or something. So he's not really, and he's also from like a village near Valencia. I'm from Valencia, so he's like from a village near. So he has to come to Valencia. So it's not the same.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
And so I have one friend that's like this dude you see in the club that gets all the girls basically. He's not a natural, I think, but he's like good looking and he's like cocky.
Yeah.
So
So you go out with him.
yeah, basically. He's like been like my friend since a long time.
And he's
And
available often? Like you go
yeah,
out
he
often?
actually, the thing is, he's like really, really lazy. So he doesn't really do much things besides like going out and right now he's working at a club as a club promoter.
Yeah.
So I go with him. He's working. I like maybe he was working in the street, so I'll stay with him a little bit, maybe talk to some girls in the street, and then when he can enter the club, we enter together. So we enter for free and everything, and we talk to some girls inside and everything. So that's what I'm doing right now. Like maybe trying to. I think in gaming level, he's a little, just maybe a little bit above me. But the thing is, he does the things he does with so much confidence. Like for example, yesterday we were together with, and I was like in the clubs. I feel like weirded out. Like I'm not. It's not my place. Like I mean, like if you put me in danger or something, that's how I feel in the club. I have written down here like um that I'm never relaxed, and my head always thinks, how can I not act like a weird dude? Because I think when you get nervous, you start acting like doing strange stuff. So that's basically what I do.
Okay. So okay, let's unpack this. First things first, I'm prepared for what we're gonna do here. Um, I wanted to ask you something.
Yeah.
So like, so one thing that I think is important, always when I talk with someone, especially if I'm working with guys on stuff, I'm interested to know what your goals are with women, and I think that's where we start, you know. So,
Okay.
so what I mean is more like, what do you want from women? What do you with women? What is important from women? You know what I mean? So let's start
Yeah.
there.
So I also wrote them down here, but it's pretty simple.
Okay.
So basically, my goals with women are, uh, first of all, to make my own decisions that we talk about, that I just carried on with inertia of the things, have sex with beautiful women, or at least like women I really genuinely find attractive. Uh, Also, feel confident expressing myself,
Huh?
and what we talked about in the Instagram DM, that's basically feeling worth of attracting women, and that's one of the things. The thing with my friend is, one of the bad things I'm experimenting, going out with him, is that when we approach some girls, for example, I instantly feel like, why would any girl choose me over him? In the sense that maybe I know I can do, like, I know I'm better at some things than him, but girls don't know that. So visually, like the first thing the girl sees will be his confidence and his physical attractiveness, and those are better than me. So why would anyone, you know what I mean? So that instantly like gets in my head, and I'm like, I I think that I don't even like try.
Okay, got it, got it. And so you told me you want to make your own decision, sex with women that you're attracted to, feel confident, and feel enough and have self-worth. My question is, what's stopping you? That's how we're gonna work today. We're gonna figure out what's stopping you. We're gonna try to figure it out.
What's stopping me? Well, first of all, what I think working on right now, that is like actually, for example, going out, because I have been a lot of time not going out, and sometimes you can like just get laid by going out. So basically, I've been like years and years. I also work from home, so most of the days I'm either at home going out to like a park right next to my house to work out,
Yeah,
going to get groceries, back, not interacting with almost anyone. Well, right now I'm trying to game some girls when I go to work out, but besides that, and I'm not really like an extroverted person. I like to talk a lot, but I'm not really extroverted. So when I have been like 7 days in a row without going out, it's complicated.
yeah, you go back. Yeah, yeah.
And well, the question was, what's
But
limiting me from?
yeah,
Mm, I don't know, man.
Okay, let me ask you this. So, you said you do day game earlier, that you like it, prefer it more.
Yeah.
How often let's say now we're in just about to get into March. So let's say all of February and all of January, like on a week to week basis, how much day game would you the last 2 months? Like once a week, times a week.
How much did I do,
Yeah,
or
like
can
how
I
many
do?
girls did you talk to per day game?
I've started like really, maybe like, I don't know, maybe like a week and a half ago. So I've done like, I can't remember, like 5 approaches or something like that. So not very much.
So in
This
January, nothing at all.
No, January I didn't start.
Okay, great. So I think that's the problem for a lot of guys. I see the same problem over and over. A lot of guys spend a lot of time thinking, and then they don't take enough action, and then all of a sudden they have all these, like, it's like the thoughts are stronger than the action. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And
yeah,
then the more thoughts they create, it creates even more thoughts. And then usually people who think a lot tend to also at some point reach negativity, and so then you
yeah.
reach negativity as well, and now you're in this spiral of going down and down and down and down and down and down. So let me give you an example. So for example, when I'm serious about day game, okay, which is not always all year round or something like that, I talk to 3 to 5 women every single day, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like new women, you know
Hmm.
Friday, Saturday. I go out in the weekends too, and I don't know. I'm like more free than I don't have like a regular job, so I'm more
Yeah.
free than most people. So I go out at night when I feel like it. I can go out tonight if I don't want. I go out tomorrow. So it can be sometimes once a week, sometimes 4 nights a week, sometimes two. I change it up. But when I'm serious about meeting women, I always focus on doing 3 to 5 approaches every day because I have to give myself enough volume to have good chances. Because when you approach women, it's not just you approaching them, it's also like, maybe you approach a girl and she has a boyfriend. Maybe she doesn't want to talk. Maybe she doesn't have time. Maybe so you have to give yourself enough approaches to be able to get the good situations where you meet a girl who's single, who's available, who's ready. Maybe you meet a nice tourist, or maybe you meet a girl who's she just got out of a relationship. She really wants to meet someone, something like that. And so my first thing when I work with guys is to help them take more action, and to
So
get to the
volume, basically.
yeah, yeah, to get, but not insane volume, like not like 20 chicks a day, 40 women a day,
Ah, okay, okay.
like a bare minimum. It's like working out, you have to go to the gym at
Hmm.
least 3 times a week or 4 times a week to see progress, to grow, break down the muscle, you know, and much later, I think once you're good with women, you get away with approaching less. Like maybe some weeks I didn't talk to any woman until the weekend, and then I go out on the weekend and it's enough. So it's kind of like sales, if you're good at sales, you don't, maybe you just do a couple clients a week, and that's it. You're gonna make some sales. Versus a person who's like new at sales, you have to do enough volume to learn. Because how do you learn? You learn from failing. You learn from talking to a girl, everything was going great, and then you said something stupid, and now she doesn't want to talk to
Hmm.
you, and you're like, ah, shit, okay, I have to not say the stupid thing, and then you do another one, and then you're gonna fail. Maybe you bring her back to your place, you do something stupid again. Oh, fuck, I shouldn't have done that. Or maybe you're with a girl, she wants to fuck, but you're too much of a bitch and you don't do anything,
Yeah.
and then boom, she leaves, and then you learn, fuck, next time I bring a girl back to my place, I'm not gonna be such a bitch. So you learn actually from trial and error and going a little bit further, 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 and it's like that, you pack it up. And so that's what I think is the best for us to talk about. We can also talk about your wingman, how to improve things for you, how to like, help you feel not enough. But it's just an hour. I can't really go into everything. And so talk to me. Let's make it more simple today. Talk to me about day game, and talk to me about what's kind of stopping you from those approaches, and let's see if I can help you with that, so I can help you take a little bit of action.
So basically, what I've identified that like where my anxiety comes from actually is not the woman,
Uh-huh.
but the other people watching.
Okay.
So if there's when I've done like most approaches is like maybe one girl more or less alone in some in a park or in a bench or something, I can approach. I have like a little bit nervous, but not very much. I can do the approach, but like if I go to the city center and crowded with people and stop a girl in the middle of the street with everyone watching, that's what gets me. Like the sense of I don't know how to explain in English, but you get me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. And so I think one thing that really, 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 really helps with that is first knowing what you want. You told me you decisions, don't want to waste time, want to have sex with women you're attracted to, feel confident and self-worth. Okay, so the first process is right, but I think the second process is to paint a painful future. So what happens if you don't do that? If you don't talk to women, if you don't make your own decisions, if you don't have sex with women you're attracted to, don't feel confident, if your self-worth is low 5 years into the because a lot of guys ask me, how can you go on day game and approach 5 women in a group? How can you do this? How can you talk to the woman that's walking down the street with her mom or something like that? Yes, it's because of confidence, but also it's because actually I know if I do my job, I will not experience pain. I wouldn't say I hate experiencing pain. I hate wasting my time. I hate a year passing by and me feeling like a loser. You know what I mean? Like some year
Yeah,
passed by and you're at the same place that you were last year. I hate it.
I know
You
the
know,
feeling.
I don't want to be a loser, and I will do anything that it takes not to reach a future where I don't have what I want. So if I were to do day game, for example, uh, reason why, for example, I like day game more than night game, I did a lot of night game. I'm usually the guy people come help with night game actually, but I like day game more. I'm just good at night game, you know. But the reason why I like day game more is because if I talk to a group of girls or one person, whatever happens, it's always instant. So I talk to the girl, she doesn't want to talk to me. It's instant. I didn't lose any time. Or if I approach a woman, she wants to talk to me, it's fast. Or if I talk to a group of 5 girls and they tell me fuck off, that's 3 seconds of my life. But maybe sometimes I went out at night. I spent 15 minutes talking to a girl, 20 minutes talking to a girl, and then I figured out she had a boyfriend. I lost 15 minutes, you know? Or
Yeah,
I met a girl, everything was great, but she has friends who absolutely hate me for no reason. Maybe some guys in her group fuck her. You know what I mean? And then they're trying to interrupt me. Maybe I win, you know? Maybe I win. Maybe I get the girl, I stay, I figure out the situation, or maybe I lose my time. For me, I found when I do day game, I don't lose time, you know? If 5 girls didn't talk to me, I'm happy. I didn't lose any time because I know the biggest reason why people are losers, they waste time. You know, they lose years and years and years and years of time, you know? And
yeah,
so I have uh, you know, experienced pain so much and I hate experiencing pain and that's why try to do everything right. You know what I mean? Like if I
yeah,
see a girl walking down the street and she's beautiful and I like her, if she's ugly, I don't care. But if I like it, the right thing to do is talk to her. Maybe she's not gonna want to talk to me back, but if she wants to talk to me back in 1 week, I will not experience pain. Maybe we'll be on a date. You know what I mean? So I'm
yeah,
always looking at minimizing no pain that I can experience in the moment is as great as the pain that I can experience
yeah.
later. No, like my future picture is so awful that I will do anything not to get there. You know what you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so for a lot of guys, it's the opposite. The pain that they can experience immediately. Let's say they walk down to a girl and they get embarrassed in the moment. Okay, that's so painful for them. Oh, some people looked at you, haha, laughed. For me, if 200 people laugh at me when I approach a girl, that's not painful. For me, fucking wasting my time on 7 dates with a girl who doesn't want to fuck me, that's painful. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
my
yeah,
perception of pain is an embarrassment in the minute. It doesn't mean anything. Me realizing, fuck, I wasted 3 weeks on this shit, bro. That's like make me like go crazy. I want to like break my fucking whole room and like scream, you know? So,
yeah.
so
Do you have this feeling since you started, or before? Was it the other way around? Like, was the feeling of embarrassment greater before, and you changed it, or for you it was since the beginning?
um, I think um, I think it's a gradual thing, you know? Because the thing is, the more that you go out, the more pain you accumulate, you know? How can I explain this? Like, so I've been going out for 10 years, like a lot of times, and I have a lot of successes, but obviously more failures. And I just realized that the things that, if I look back at my 10 years, the things that brought me pain were always the things that happened later. For example, I give you an example. Spending a relationship with a girl for 3 months where I didn't really choose her. She was insisting, and maybe we were together 8 months. And even if I had a relationship with her where I could fuck other girls or something like that, I felt I lost time with her. Because if I was not with her, I could have met more girls. I could have met cooler guys. I could have traveled more. I could have had less more headaches. I could have had more clients. I could have had be more happy. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Or let's say I have a rule, for example, I go out with a girl only 2 times, and if we not have something that I
Mm.
like, then I'm stopping. But the pain always came for me where I said, let me give this one a fourth
Yeah.
one. Let me give this one a fifth one. That pain where I'm like 7 dates in, still haven't had sex with the girl in some dramatic situation. That for me, in my level of how I feel in my body and everything, was always more painful than me approaching a girl and saying hi to her and she's like, fuck off. Because pain for me is like the amount but this is how I work mentally, you know. It's
Yeah.
like the amount of like, oh my god, I wasted weeks. The opportunity cost
Exactly.
is called. For me, if somebody punched me one time, it's done. It's over.
Yeah.
Even me, I forgot about it. 1 day passed, it's gone. You know. But to maybe get punched every day for 2 months, it's like, man, you know, physical abuse. You know what I mean? So that's the point that I'm trying to reach. So I think I became more like that over the years because the more you go out, the more you talk to girls, the more bad situations you will also experience. And that's why in my videos, in many of my videos, I talk a lot about bad situations because you will, as a man, I'm sure even the guy you talk to, the confident guy that you know, I'm sure no matter how many girls he fucks, he's probably in more bad situations than good. If he fucks 3 girls in a week, he probably talked to 25 chicks. You know, he probably had drama with like 17 of them, but he fucked like three. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you will always have more situations that are not positive. You know what I mean? And so it's about taking action and focusing on the positive situations and improving those. I don't know. Is it making sense what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. How do you go about, uh, like, one of the troubles I have with, I think, day game also, well, in general, but now we're focusing on day game, is when I go to approach, I feel like I need this like perfect opener.
Yeah, yeah. So let me talk to you. I know exactly what you're. All good. So let me talk to you about this. So basically, I talked to you about something. I guess what I just said, it's a bit more advanced because it's an overtime thing. But let's go back to the beginning. Let's say that you're a guy, maybe not even you, any guy. Let's say that any guy is struggling to do approaches. He's uh, not doing approaches. He's bitching out, or weeks go by, he's not approaching. The best thing that helped me in the beginning, and I think I was very lucky to use this kind of philosophy or a way of living. And I don't know why. I don't really talk about it much in my videos nowadays. I guess now I'm more inspired. I will come back to it. But so it's like you are the enemy in some sense. Okay? Because if you're holding yourself back, I'm not holding you back. It's you. So the thing about getting good with women in the beginning, getting to a place where you take action, you're going on dates, and everything is going well, it's about developing a relationship with yourself. I think a lot of guys have a poor relationship with their emotions, with how things feel in their body, how things work in their mind. For example, I can have a thought, negative, I can be with a girl and a negative thought come up in my mind, like, oh, maybe she's not gonna fuck me. But I'm so good at not identifying with the thought, it just it comes up and I just let it go like this and I don't care and I just continue doing my thing, okay? And over time, because I learned how to do that, over time, I have less negative thoughts and they are then replaced by positive thoughts. So let's talk about that. So when you feel anxiety or fear, what a lot of guys do is they try to run away from, either physically run away, like, oh shit, I'm not gonna talk to her, I'm gonna move away, or they start, watching a lot of porn, or playing a lot of video games, or going out less, or there's always a reaction to that. But part of being a man or a developed human being is about, for example, when you feel fear, okay, it has like, or you feel anxiety, it has like a physical manifestation in the, maybe your hands start to sweat, maybe you feel your throat gets tight, maybe you feel in the chest area there's like a little bit harder to breathe, maybe your heart starts to pump. What this means, it makes adrenaline. When you have adrenaline in your body, maybe your weak neck, your sorry, knees feel more weak. It's harder to think. When your heart is pumping, like, tuk, tuk, it makes adrenaline, and when you have adrenaline, it's very hard to think. It's very hard to be rational. It's very hard to you go into another part of your brain, the reptilian part, fight or flight. So it's about, I think, developing a relationship to the fight or flight, to anxiety, to fear. And it's about learning how to, it's like a behavior therapy. It's about learning how to continue to live as a human being who's aligned to his own goals while these things happen. So, what I started to do myself was I started to, back in the day, I used to spend, I don't do this anymore, but I used to spend like 30 to 45 minutes every day meditating. And my meditation was like off the field. And my meditation was, it wasn't about reaching a state of bliss or something. It was about learning to observe my own thoughts and emotions. So I used to, for example, in the middle of the day or before I went out or early in the morning or whatever, when I had time, I used to observe the sensations in my body. My uh, I took like every moment to meditate. If I was sad, I would meditate on sadness. If I was happy, I would meditate on happy. If I was upset or angry, I would watch the my face burning and my this thing, because I wanted to develop a relationship to all emotions. And then I took that same theory to the field. So when I, for example, saw a girl, I taught myself how to. So, for example, let's say I saw a girl and all of a sudden I felt the sense of anxiety. I took that as an opportunity. I didn't even care about having sex actually when I was a beginner. I cared about developing a relationship to approaching, a relationship to fear, a relationship to how I feel inside. So, for example, a good example of this was, and I do this a lot with clients. I would, for example, if I do a boot camp in person, I take clients out and maybe we're in a nightclub because it's a good environment because people stay in the same place. So maybe I see two girls in the corner and I say to my client, okay, do that approach, and he's like, oh my god, well, I feel fear, and I'm like, okay, let's take a moment. These girls are not going anywhere because they're stuck in the room.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take. What do you feel right now? And he's like, oh, my chest is tight. It's a little bit difficult to breathe. And I'm like, okay, close your eyes and go into the feeling. Okay, and so the client closed his eyes. Okay, observe what you're feeling. What you're feeling is normal. Uh, once I hear myself, I don't know
I
why.
can mute the.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, now it's good. It's gone. Okay, perfect, perfect. Because it was throwing me off a bit. Okay, um, so I would, for example, oh, nice. It's so quiet now. Okay, awesome. And so I would be with the client, and the client would be there in the state of fear or panic or anxiety, and I would help him do something that nobody did in his life. Recognize, it's called recognize his own feelings, because it's like people, men want to experience happiness and neutral, and that's it. They no, don't want to feel anything else. If they're sad, they have to watch porn. If they're unhappy, they have to fucking do that. As soon as they're any feeling, they just want to escape immediately, and that's not a man. That's like a little bitch, you know. As soon as something happens, it's like don't want to do anything, or want to procrastinate, or get lazy, or not drink more alcohol, or something like that, you know. It's a bit crazy, but people don't talk about it. I don't know why. And so I would, for example, tell the client to, like, okay, honor his feelings. Okay, what do you, so first of all, recognize your feelings. So what do you feel? Okay, and then he would name five, six different things. I feel this, my chest is like this, da 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 da. And I would say, okay, go into it deeper. So that's the second step. So first step is recognize what you feel. The second step is, instead of running away, go into it deeper. Okay, so go, take all your energy to go into the feeling. Okay, not just observe it, but go, try to observe it as deep as you can. Okay, so that was the second step. And the third step would be, do the approach while you're observing your own feelings. And so this helped me a lot. So, for example, if I had fear or panic, and let's say the girl is over there in this direction, I would honor, oh shit, my hands are shaking. Okay, my heart's like something like this. Da, 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 da. So I would first recognize it. Step two, um, I would observe it deeper. So I would try to make myself non-defensive. So let's say a good example, somebody's gonna punch you. Okay, you just put your hands down. Okay, give me the punch. You know what I mean? So I would try to not uh, drop my own resistance by relaxing myself. All right? Okay, I'm not gonna fight what I'm feeling. And step three was to go and do the approach while I am not running away from what I'm feeling. So I would continue to observe. It's like I would carry my fear with me to do the approach, not try to fix it and to do the approach. So I would carry my whatever feelings of unworthiness, whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. Same thing, you know. And I would carry it with me, like I would, like a friend, like an extra person. Because a lot of guys are like trying to be perfect and then do the approach. I would do the approach, no, being human. I would allow myself be human, and I would try to not hide it. So that would be the fourth step, not hide it. So not try to have a mask over it. So if I walked up to a girl and I was nervous or something, I'd be like, yo, like, that's me now. It's not gonna be me in like 10 years, you know? So I'm like, let me enjoy the process of what the fuck's going on with me right now. So I would approach her being nervous, and I would not try to control my voice or anything. And I would just say the things that I wanted to say. Hey, you're beautiful, or how's your day going, or whatever. It doesn't matter. for me because at the beginning I thought about it smart. I'm like, if I take a year just to be comfortable around women, I'm gonna fuck later. So I thought more like that. I thought like analytical. Okay, if I take 6 months to a year just to like work on my feelings and approach women, 1,000% I'm gonna fuck women for the rest of my life. And that's how it worked actually for me. So I took like the first 6 to 7. I didn't even get laid my first year, and then I got laid a lot my second year. So actually I had sex like at the end of my first year. So first year I really took time to like work on this my poor relationship with myself and my emotions and my it's not I felt I really I don't know I would consider myself a smart person. I'm like, yo, every time I get afraid of something I'm running away. That's like not normal. I don't know. And nobody taught me this in school. I'm like, I have to fix this, you know? It's not even about having sex, you know? Like if a girl likes you, you like her, like it's not difficult sex, you know? And it so I even knew this as a virgin, you know? I'm like, I can figure it out later, but if I can't even talk to him, that's like something really weird, you know? And so
Yeah.
I tried to work on that. So it was like a two type of practice. First, it was learning to do it at home. So I would every day take 20 minutes, 30 minutes and just observe anything that I'm feeling and just learn how to observe, you know? Like it's like a bicycle. The more you learn how to observe, it gets better. But also I would go out every day, talk to 3 to 5 women. And when I saw a girl, for example, with her mom or something, because as you go out, the situation changes. Maybe at first it's difficult just to talk to one girl, but then you do it for like 4 months. Then you're like, all right, let's do something new. Groups of girls. Oh my. Okay, then you got to do the process again, and then maybe you get comfortable with groups, and then oh my god, a girl walking down the street with her mom. Ooh, I'm so scared. Okay, so oh, and then maybe you start nightclubs. Oh my god, just being in a nightclub is uncomfortable. So I never judged myself. If something made me feel uncomfortable, goal was to work on it. And to reach my first goal was actually not to have sex. My first goal was to be comfortable in every situation, no matter what happened. If I see a girl in a restaurant, I should be comfortable. If I see a girl, like I just was like wanting to become a guy who was unfazed. My rationale was if I become unfazed, I will always have sex. I don't know. It just made sense to me. If I can become a confident guy, start conversations with women and like figure out stuff, I will always have sex. I will always have girlfriends. Like it just made sense to me even when I was a virgin, you know? Because I'm like, there's no way you can be confident and cool, interesting, and not have sex. It just didn't make made sense to me, you know? And so I'm like, oh, I just have to become confident, cool, and it's not by doing things because as later I found out as well, I met a lot of guys who are confident and still have approach anxiety. I don't have like approach anxiety, or sometimes maybe very little because I spent years working on developing a relationship with this feeling, with this with how like for example women the situations that triggers you. I developed a relationship working with being triggered. Being, I'm not saying I don't get angry and stuff. I get pissed off all the time. But for me, it's okay to be angry and express it, or frustrated, or say fuck this shit, or whatever. You know, these are natural. If I'm hanging out with a girl a couple times and I'm frustrated, it means something. It means like maybe we're not right for each other or whatever. Then fuck this bitch, and I just go meet somebody else. You know. So I uh, I always was pissed off at myself for not listening to not following these feelings or not trying to like figure it out. So I guess I don't know. Does that help?
Yeah, and do you sometimes verbalize like your feelings to the when you approach? Like,
I think I did it in the beginning, but I quickly did not need to do it. So for example, maybe the first girls I was oh my god, I'm so nervous. I was so nervous coming up, talking to you, blah blah blah. You know, but after doing that for like 5 days, I didn't feel like the need to
yeah,
do it anymore. You know what I mean? So yeah, like in the beginning, you want to just do whatever it helps. Like you want, like so. Here's the thing: when you meet a woman, she's not the perfect human being. She has fears, anxieties, problems in her life. Uh, she's done fucked up shit. Maybe she's cheated. Maybe she's lied. Maybe she's uh, all sorts of things. So you're meeting this. So it's weird. Guys want to be superhuman and meet girls who are just human. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
so you can be. Even women don't want. I think women want to meet a guy who's human, who can uh, uh, handle himself in bad times, good times, whatever. Like that's not superhuman. That's being human. I think you have to become human, be afraid to be, because I mean like that's also what they experience. So connect on more things, you know what I mean?
And regarding the, like, what I've noticed is that when I actually decide to do the approach, I actually don't feel that nervous. Like once I've done it and I'm talking with the girl, I actually like enjoy it and I'm fine. But one question I have is, I watched a video of you regarding the game,
Yeah.
and you said that this is my experience with most of my interactions, both this year and last year, that they were like just like normal conversations, like people getting to meet each other. Like, is that okay?
Uh,
It was not like, I don't know. You talk in your video that what you see sometimes in YouTube and everything is like highlights of people,
yeah.
like, and I don't know. For example, the conversation I had with the girl just like 2 days ago. Uh, I mean, I got her WhatsApp. It wasn't like no resistance at all. And but with conversation we had was like about Valencia, what she was doing here. She was from Colombia, so like we talked a little bit. We
Yeah.
had fun. I made a few jokes, but like just like friendly conversation. Is that all right for day game or?
So I mean, I think here's my way of thinking about it. I think it's important. It's like, okay, let me try to make an analogy. It's like, okay, let's say that you want to be the best swimmer that you can possibly be. Okay, maybe you dream about having a gold medal in the Olympics, whatever, right? So I think at certain points in your swimmer journey, you worry about different things. Okay, so at first, at the very very basic level, what is it about? Well, you need to at least maybe go. Let's say a coach tells you, because swimming is a very. Let's say a coach tells you if you want to be a great swimmer, you have to at least swim 3 times a week. Okay, and so I think the first thing to do is not to worry about how good you swim. Can you just do it 3 times a week? Can you literally show up to the gym Monday, Wednesday, Friday and keep a good swimming diet? Okay? If I was a swimmer coach, I would tell the guy, okay, for 2 months, just come to the gym. Do, I don't know, whatever. I'm making something up. 2000 meters or whatever. I don't even know how long, how much, But like, do a 45-minute swimmer's workout 3 times a week. Just come to the gym. Talk to me in 2 months. If I was a swimming coach. Because it's like I wouldn't even want to work with somebody who can't even come to the gym 3 times a week. It's like, why are we gonna talk about winning an Olympic gold medal or doing this or how good you swim? It's like, so first, I think guys gotta break it down and put like in categories and boxes. And I try to do this in my programs first. Okay, first, let's get you to take action without worrying about how good. Okay, because if you become a guy who tells me, Jaden, I'll talk to 5 girls every day without failure, 7 days a week, I haven't missed a single day. Okay, and I can talk to girls in my sleep, but my conversations are a bit normal. There's no flirting. Uh, there's no spark. Okay, boom. Let's work on the spark layer because it's like layers. You gotta like when I do a boot camp, maybe over even let's say 5 days or 7 days. Uh, we don't work on everything the first day. It's like layer. Okay, first 1 to 2 days this, second to fourth day this, fourth day to seventh day this. It's like layers, because it's like first get to ride the bicycle, then start to worry about riding it long, then focus on tricks. Okay, now you want to do the backflip. Then even when you're gonna do the backflip, you have to break it down. First you go up, and then you do this. Okay, then you practice. Even when you do skateboarding or something, first you practice like maybe even push up is better. First you do it on your, if you can't do on push ups, you do it on your knees. You practice. Okay, and you build confidence from the practice, and then you do it like normal. Okay, now you can do 5. Now you gotta do. Now you do the trick. Now you work on doing one hand. It's like a sequential thing, and eventually you become a person that is like you do it while sleeping, and then people ask you how the fuck you did it, and you're like, but bro, I just did this little thing, and then this little thing, and now I'm
Yeah.
able to do everything. So the thing is, you're telling me my conversation is normal. I do day game, but it's like, bro, you did like one approach or two approaches in the last 2 months. You know what I mean? Like that's not the issue.
I get it.
You know what I mean? So first, become a guy. The primary concern for every man is first become a guy not going out regularly, but going out regularly and talking to women. The point is not even they reject you, like you, or whatever. It's like, do you even talk to women regularly? Then once it's check, I talk to women regularly. Okay, so what's the problem? My conversations are shit. Okay, now let's work on the shitty conversations. Okay, now my conversations are good. Okay, but my dates suck. Cool. Now let's work on the dates. Okay, now my dates are good, but when I take the girl to my house, I don't know what the fuck to do. Okay, now so see, now you're a guy who talks to girls regularly, have good conversations, go on dates, you bring the girls already back to your house, but you're stuck somewhere there. Okay, now let's work on that. Boom, now you're having sex. You see, step, like this. Boom, boom. Okay, it's not like let's work on everything together because it's impossible. It doesn't work like that. There's no sport. There's no thing that you work on everything at the same time. Like it's not even make sense, you know. So I don't know if you understand what
Yeah,
I'm trying to
I get
say.
it. Like you can't build the house starting from the roof.
Yeah, it doesn't work. It's impossible.
Yeah.
And so if a guy has fear or whatever, it's like, okay, first you got to work on that. It's like how can you even do anything? You got to first uh, develop a perfect relationship with yourself as good as you can, and with your emotions, and learning not do what most men do as soon as something happens inside of them, because it's so uncomfortable to fear, tension. So you got to become a person who develops a good relationship to fear, tension, anxiety. When your throat becomes tight, know how to calm yourself down, who know how to do something at the same time. I'm sure fighters are becoming afraid when they fight, but they learn how to still do the fight while being afraid. You know what I mean? So I would say that this is the first step. And so even when I work with a client, okay, we like a month just to work on this, and then boom, second month we work on this, or a couple, like it depends on the program and stuff, but a period of time work on certain things, and then we move on to the next thing, and next thing, and now time you have a complete puzzle.
And what will you recommend like for daily approaches? You said about 5.
Yeah, but 5 is just a number, but yeah, I would say 3 to 5. Try to hit 5 every day,
Every day.
and
Okay.
yeah, every day, and to give yourself opportunity to be afraid, actually, to
Hmm.
experience fear, experience problems, trouble, to be able to work on the things that you know. So you have to expose yourself to it so that you can work on okay, honoring the feeling, you know, not hiding the feeling, not having a mask. And I used to think a lot about that in my life, even when I wasn't with girls. Work on not having a mask, admit that I'm afraid, admit that I get frustrated, to admit, like, even when I wasn't out, like when I was like had work problem or something, like in every situation, I took a time to practice. Parents or this or that, whatever, like every it was like a whole lifestyle. I did it when I was alone. I did it when I was with my guy friends. I did that. I don't know, when somebody died. I did it. I took every opportunity to practice deepening my relationship itself. That then manifested physically. Um, and then also you have wins. That's another part of it. Then when you do that, you'll have wins. You'll have girls. God, I'm so happy. Came up to me. Have girls. sex with you, have success, you'll have relations, whatever. So also you get wins along the way, because I think a guy who's confident and doesn't have no problem and get rewarded. Women want to fuck you, so it works, you know. So it's a good strategy to have, I guess.
And what would you like when I get when I start doing day game and I get maybe especially like the first approaches that I'm not really warmed up. What
Yeah.
would you? I don't like I'm not really like a warm up guy. I just like try to go for it straight away because I don't want to. I feel like even worse, like just talking to a girl and saying something and just going away. You know what I mean? So I just prefer like if I feel attracted to her, like just convey it rather than just waste her time. But how would you go about opening? Maybe do you have like an opener for like maybe it's just saying, "Hey, I found you attractive" or something like that. I don't know, like a
So
general
so
thing.
so 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 your question is, I go
When you
out,
don't
I'm
think
not
of
I'm
anything.
not warmed up, and I see a girl. Maybe there's a kind of open that I can use. Yeah, okay. I don't know. Like I think over the years, I've had different asked me, even myself. I did. Um. So let me tell you. I think. Okay. So let me tell you what I did when I started. It's so easy to do, but I don't think it's optimal. But I'll give you like two things that you. So number one, when I started, like I'm talking like 2012. Now we're in year time. So when I started, just to make things simple, I just told every girl, "Hey, you're beautiful." I wouldn't say it's the optimal thing, but it was somewhat true as well, because why? Like felt that they were attractive. Maybe I didn't think they were beautiful. Maybe I thought sexy or whatever, right? But because my goal was just to start get in there and start, I didn't give a fuck how. So I remember this, I started in the summer. I just walked up to the girl, "Hey, you're beautiful, what's your name?" Or, "Hey, yeah, you're beautiful, I just want to," and I said it to like 20 girls a day. And even sometimes I didn't even think it was true. I was like, I don't even think she's that beautiful, I want to talk, and I did it anyway. Because my point that time, not how good of a quality of conversation was at that moment, me just get in there and to be a guy who talks to women regularly and who tries things. Now, after growing, I mean, how old was I then? I was like, whatever, like a long time ago. I'm 30 now. Looking back, if I were to give myself advice, okay, so that's the thing. The first thing you can do is, if you have nothing to do, you can just say that, you know. Uh, but that also has problems, because some girls, you talk to them, you say, "Hey, beautiful," like, "Oh, thank you," and then fuck, and you know. So it's not a very creative opener, but it's better than doing nothing. And I got a lot of girls actually who very interested to talk to me just because I did that. So okay, but I would say looking back now at that, what I would do is, again, it's coming back to the relationship self thing, because that's a more long-term powerful thing. So when I noticed in myself, when I see a girl, I think something. Okay, so this is another part of developing a relationship. So when I see a girl, I would think something. My God, she has a sexy ass. I like her hair. Fuck is confident. When I see a girl, I notice something about her naturally. Like, it could just be she's sexy, or it could be fuck, is that girl Italian? Whatever. And so what I taught myself to do time was to lead with my first thought without judgment. So every time I talk to a girl, I'm leading with the first thing that came to mind as soon as I saw her, which means I now have infinite open. Sometimes it's the same opener, but I never judge. I lead with the first thing that comes to mind. Maybe it's like, hey, I just wanted to talk to you. Boom. That's the thing that the first thing, as soon as I see her, as soon as she comes into my vision, as soon as I have interest in a woman, and I don't judge it whether it's happy or like, and I just try, if it's something very crazy, I try to cushion it, you know. So for example, if a girl is like, if I see a girl is like, God damn, what an ass, then maybe I walk up to her and I change the words, like, hey, listen, I just want to tell you this one thing, but you probably hear it a lot, you know, so I don't want to be like some weird guy or something. And the girl's like, oh, tell me, and I'm like, you have a fantastic ass. You know, instead of walking up and say, "Hey, excuse me, you have a fantastic ass," you're like, "What the fuck?" You know. So if it's something crazy, I try to cushion it with some words to deliver
Yeah.
it in an intelligent way, but I still try to get to the point. But if it's not something crazy, like, "Hey, I don't know, hey, I just want to introduce myself to this." Okay, hey, I'm Jay. Or I just wanna so long term, that's gonna do in terms of internal growth. Also, I think success with than just walking up to him and saying, "Hey, hey, you're beautiful." Okay, but I didn't know that when I didn't know that when I was 19 years old. This is something that I figured out over time, many years, and I worked. And once I figured it out, I worked on it a lot. And I think that is the best strategy. And that's what I always uh whatever, like, you know, like, and eventually, like, yeah, I just like lead with what I'm thinking or feeling. It doesn't matter, it's the same thing. Whatever the first thing that comes to mind, or the thought that comes to mind, I would say it's the right thing to say. 'Cause then also, when it does open, when it does go well, there's an element of genuinity and spontaneity you can pick up on, a certain vibe that can get started from. And for me as well, if I lead with the thing that I think, and a woman checks it, probably not gonna have a good date, because what's a date with me? I'm gonna say the things that I think about and things I feel, and don't give a shit. You know what I mean? If a woman wants to meet a guy who's all filtered and tries to deliver, some women want. I guess, I swear to God, I met some women. They want you to. They want to meet a guy who's fits in, who never says anything bad, who they can show to the parents, who's extremely structured and extremely like, you know what I mean, and proper. And it's like, I use bad words.
Yeah.
I say fuck off, and like, I'm this that. Like, if you can't accept that, I promise you, we're not gonna have a good time together. I promise you. If you're not interested, I like to watch dark humor and weird comedy, and like, people use bad languages. I like it, So, so I will say whatever I think and whatever I feel. And if a woman cannot accept that, or if that's not like exciting her, making her wet and shit, like, we're not gonna work out. So, like, you know what I mean?
You're just like filtering earlier in the interaction, basically. Like
Well,
avoiding wasting time earlier on if you're not going to match with her.
yeah. Well, I give myself two things. So because I don't filter myself, I have infinite openers. I have infinite openers.
Mhm.
I see her, I say what I think. So now I have infinite opener. Number one, and number two, I'm also filtering at the same time. So I'm like, the guy with the hammer and the axe. I have everything. I have infinite openers. So it's like, I have infinite openers, and I don't even judge it. I might say the same thing to three girls in a row because I thought it. I don't give a fuck. I'm not. There's no moral police following me around, like trying to hold me to a higher standard. I'll say whatever. I don't give a fuck. So I'll say what I think. I can meet three girls in a row. I'm like, oh, I think these girls are Italian. Excuse me, are you Italian? Three girls in a row, because I'm genuinely thinking that. I might say a different thing every time. I might switch it up. It's just whatever I think, whatever I feel. Boom, I go in. And that gives me something to go on when I do my approaches. Second of all, I'm also filtering at the same time without trying to filter. Not like thinking to myself, oh my god, like I'm trying to filter. No, it's like I just say what I think all the time, no matter what it is. Okay, and I try to stay away from couple things. Politics, I never talk about politics. Like I have some rules. So within, I will never talk about politics. I don't give, even if a girl brings it up, I'll just like try to avoid the thing. I try not to share bad experiences that happened to me in the past. Okay, because it just makes you look bad. So I have like, I can't even think of them. I maybe should make a video, but I have to sit and think and write. But I have like a couple of rules, dark alleys that I avoid. But as long as it's not about these five things or whatever it is, anything goes. You know what I mean? So I have some rules, some things that I figured out over time. It's like, oh, if I talk to these things, girls like don't want to even spend 5 more minutes with me. So I'm like, all right, let's not talk. Let's not exaggerate. With the I'll say whatever I want to say. You know, like let's not take it to the extreme. Let's try to keep it at a healthy, normal thing. And I think as long as I try to not go and do really weird stuff, and I keep, because I have to be relatable. You know what I mean? So I try to also crazy or be out there, but also at the same time try to make myself relate. Yeah.
Yeah, man, really valuable stuff. I'll try to focus like maybe this couple of months in just like approaching girls,
Yeah.
and maybe I'll get back to you when I feel like more is the next step.
Yeah, well, because it's like if you're not approaching, you can't do anything. If you're
Yeah,
not going to the gym, you're not going to build muscle. You're not working on your push up, you're not going to be able to do a one hand push up. Like the it's impossible. So you gotta I would say the thing for you, which I think is big for a lot of guys, is focusing on being and learning that there's a range to emotion. Fear, anger, sadness, frustration is so many different emotions. Feeling of unworthiness, there's also some kind of emotion, you know, like doubt, insecurity. Um, uh, there's so many different emotions, right? And as humans, we actually all of us experience a range of emotions. But what's weird is most humans are like, oh, I'll get to like one or two emotions, I'm good. Happy or neutral. That's most men. Happy, up, neutral, okay. Anything below neutral, I don't want to experience at all. Just get me out of here. Let's watch some porn. Let's eat some cookies. Let's fucking get me out of here. I fear, no, even can't even be 1 second in it. So it's about learning how to be within those other intense emotions. Because the difference, for example, between happiness and sadness or happiness and anger is when it manifests in the body. When you feel happy or it's a good feeling, body's light, your thoughts are working better, the system works in a good way inside the body. It's very nice to experience. Breathing gets better or something. But when you're like sad or down or anxious or fear, the system's like shutting down. Like it just doesn't feel even good to be in the body. So so more that you can learn how to be in your body, with your body, when you are experiencing and feeling negative emotions, the more that you the less that it's gonna happen. Because like when there's fear or resistance around even being 1 second in these emotions, it's kind of like being afraid of a ghost or a man. It's like, oh my god, I can't turn the lights off, you know. But if you're like, hey, bring it, fear, let's go, anger, let's go, baby. Like, I can't wait to the next situation with a girl when I'm afraid. Like, wow, like you get excited about it. It doesn't have the same pull on you. It's not like you won't get afraid ever, but it's like it, it will never bring you down in your life. Never. It will never bring you down. You'll just experience it from time to time here, you know. Versus for a lot of men, it's the boogeyman. They want to stay away from it, because oh my god, it's gonna ruin everything. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Oh my god, if a girl found out I'm insecure, she's gonna leave me. Well, let a bitch find out I'm insecure. Let's go. Put me in that situation. It's like another way of looking at it. And because I'm gonna look her in the eyes and say, yeah, god damn it, I'm insecure. What you gonna do about it? If you wanna leave, get the fuck out of my house. I don't care. So now you're like in another realm. You know, you're in another space where it's like you're untouchable in some kind of way. And I think if men made that their goal to become untouchable, become like the Buddha that can experience everything, and doesn't look at, oh, this is negative, this is positive. Let me enjoy life while I'm here on this planet. Let me enjoy sadness and fear and this and that. Da, 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 da. I'm open to everything. What happened to me, honestly, was I stopped experiencing so many negative things. I think the more you have resistance to negative things, kind of like attracted. It's like a weird thing, I think. The more you like, oh my god, I hope this doesn't happen, the more this fucking thing happens. I don't know why it's like that. You know, maybe it's a spiritual thing, whatever, but the more you're like, yeah, bring it on, let's go. The less of the darkness I think you experience. Of course, you can still get fucked up. Maybe you can get arrested tomorrow. Something bad can happen, but if you can be a guy who's like, you got arrested tomorrow and you're like, all right, I'm in the cell right now. Okay, I've got to spend 2 days in here, whatever it is. All right, step by step. Let me do some push-ups. Let me drink some water. You know, okay, I'm in a cell. Or all right, it's fucked up, but I'm angry. Okay, let me sit here and meditate on my anger. It's like you're untouchable. Even the guards walking by your cell, they're gonna be like, what the fuck is he doing? You know, like, they'd be like, oh, you're not, you're like, you're somebody, like, people are gonna be like, who is this guy, you know, like, because, and I think that's important. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, man. I think I really like need to commit to myself, like right now, and just now or never, basically.
Yeah, and again, uh imagine a future where you don't commit to yourself and you go out here and there, you meet another girl, she's like, relationship, 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 and you're like, okay, and then you're just there, you're sitting eating dinner with her and you fucking hate yourself. You know, you're sitting there eating and you fucking hate yourself, you know, or like uh uh you know, 6 months more go by and you don't have sex. I mean, you're not gonna die, but you're sitting there and your friends are all fucking and you're like, man, what the fuck's going on? You know, like imagine being in that state, or like another year pass by and you're just the exact same as you are now. Man, that's like some suicidal shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a good future. You know, that's like pure frustration. Like, if you walk up to a girl and she's like, ah, fuck off, Victor, I don't want to talk to you anymore, bro. That's not a big deal. A big deal is sitting on in a relationship where a girl's like, hey, take out the trash, and you're like, yes, baby, and you just hate yourself. Like, that's pure, like, hatred. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
that's something else. If you trust me, if you're on 2 dates with a girl and she looks at you and says, this is how work it out with between us, and you're like, alright, let me pay the bill, see you later, and you forget about her tomorrow, that's not a big problem. Or like, some people laughed at you, they don't even remember you next week, you know. So these are not big problems, you know. But you seeing girls and bitching out for 6 months, now that's a big problem, you know. um yeah.